What extinct creature would be an absolute nightmare for humans if it still existed?
I feel like pterodactyls would be a nuisance.
Any other hominin species, Neanderthal, Denisovans etc. It would be such a moral pain in the ass. Can we put them in zoos? Do they get nature preserves? Do we give them human rights? How would we share land and resources? Would we go to war? I feel like the world is only big enough for one of us, and it might not be big enough for just us either.
Sarcosuchus was a crocodile who measured over 40 feet long and is estimated to have had one of the greatest bite forces in history. Something that could go in and out of the ocean like that and just gobble up a family walking by the beach, not even right next to the water, is terrifying. They were thought to have scavenged out of the water.
No matter what the answers are, some people would try to eat it and others would try to beep it.
Unless I had full head-to-toe plate armor and an automatic shotgun with a drum, I don't like my chances against a Haast's eagle out in the open. It was a 30-pound bird of prey that hunted moa in New Zealand. Imagine 30 pounds dive bombing you out of the blue with 2-inch talons and a 4-inch claw on each foot. It went extinct only like 400 years ago because the first humans to inhabit the area hunted the moa go extinction almost immediately and starved out the eagles.
Brachiosaurus. They are not predators, but they apparently pooped and farted so much that it would scare away predators. Imagine getting farted on and then just dying.
Any kind of giant bug, especially giant spiders.
Margaret Thatcher.
Giant beep bugs. Could you imagine a bird-sized mosquito taking a pint from you?
Dodos. They had no fear of humans, so they would invade our cities like immense, slow-walking pain in the ass pigeons. Every time you tried to catch a bus, you'd be surrounded by a flock of fen dodos looking all cute at you and side-eyeing your sandwich. Why did the dodo cross the road? It didn't, it just stood in the middle of the road staring into space and pooping for half an hour, holding up all the goddamn traffic. And then they'd get in the subways and breed and try to peck your luggage or some SHT. Absolute nightmare. Don't tell me you can't picture this.
Those 16-foot-tall rhinoceros things they just discovered. Imagine one of those getting spooked and then plowing through a 2-story house.
Although an expected answer, the megalodon. This is because similar to great white sharks, they would often reside just off the coast of beaches. Due to their large jaws, I'm guessing there will be no "aw, that doesn't taste good, let's spit it out." Instead it would be they ate you in one bite, so forget livable injuries. If they were still around, no one would be at the beaches, that's for sure. Edit, grammar.
The Kalenkin, aka terror bird.
Bears in UK, because we are really soft and can't handle a single predator.
Probably some virus that jumped species, killed every host, then went extinct itself.
Short-faced bear, bigger than any current bear species, could absolutely destroy a person.
Cave bear. I think I remember from somewhere people who study human migration patterns noticed that humans didn't cross the land bridge into North America until the cave bear started dying out, meaning that these beep were so bad that they quite literally stopped humans from reaching an entire continent. But IDK, not sure if it's true or not, but when I heard it I was like, damn.
Around the time humans crossed the Bering Strait, so, not that long ago, Siberia was reportedly full of a now extinct subgroup of hyenas that, according to fossil records, were as big as horses. In fact, I remember reading that one of the reasons we didn't cross the Bering Strait earlier than when we did was because of those mega hyenas.
Not the obvious extinct predators or dinosaurs answer, but my best bet would be other Homo species. We barely get along with each other as Homo sapiens sapiens. Now imagine what would happen if different species were still alive. Racism, wars, never-ending conflict and competition, most of them about resources like food and water. Imagine a united Homo neanderthals in the billions against us Homo sapiens.
Any carnivore dinosaur, as it would beep over literally any tribe, and without modern weapons we'd be beeped to.
Something like 90% of these answers would be a nightmare for like a month, and after that we would have killed him all off or otherwise rendered him a non-threat. The only things that might cause lasting problems would be some of the aquatic stuff, because oceans are big, and stuff like parasites.
The short-faced bear. Seen here kept humans from crossing North America for a while since it was such a voracious predator.
Titana boa. Basically a prehistoric boa constrictor that is like 100 feet long and capable of eating people.
So many of the large predators people are thinking of have one thing in common. None of them are immune to bullets.
On an individual level, most extinct large predators, or even dangerous parasites, could be problematic, but I can't think of anything that could threaten humans on a large scale, other than viruses, as we have recently learned.
Those prehistoric, giant beep mosquitoes? It's bad enough getting a bite from the tiny ones. Those big beep look like they'd suck you dry like one of those Mennonite dolls. Also, smallpox, or some mutated strain of it. Mostly because we don't vaccinate for it anymore, so we don't really have immunity. All the other critters here are like, stay out of the water, and you're safe. Or stay out of the forest, jungle. Or shoot it, or harpoon it, but mosquitoes? Those assholes are everywhere.
The passenger pigeon. Most people recall that this bird was hunted to extinction by humans around the turn of the 20th century, but many don't realize the reason behind it. Justified or not, the passenger pigeon was once the most numerous bird in North America, and possibly the entire world. Estimates in the mid-19th century put the population at over 3.5 billion, and perhaps as many as 5 billion. They were also very social, preferring to nest and breed in massively large flocks. Migrating passenger pigeons would number in the literal millions, blackening the sky for hours. They were so easy to hunt that one could bring a shotgun outside, aim in any random direction, and bring down 10 birds with one shot. They became an easily accessible cheap food item for the post-Civil War poor in the late 19th century. In addition, they were seen as a pest because imagine 289,345,987 pigeons roosting in trees together during breeding season, often destroying them, and leaving literal mounds of bird beep in their wake. Given the economics, they were edible, and the societal, they were a nuisance, influences, it's not really surprising to realize that they were completely eradicated in only 50 years. You think the pigeons in the city park, beep all over the statues and your car, are annoying? Imagine uncountable millions and millions of them, thundering across the skies without end, raining white poop day and night, getting sucked into aircraft engines, destroying all the trees in the park, the squawking noise of a sea of feathers and beaks. Imagine cicada broodx, but this time, it's birds who grow to be 1.5 feet long. You'd wish they were extinct, wouldn't you?
Prehistoric crocodiles had long legs and could gallop like horses. Imagine if Floridians managed to tame that beep, they would be unstoppable.
Beep Quetzalcoatlus. They were the size of small aircrafts, wingspan of 10 meters, or 33 feet. They're big enough that they could just swoop down and grab a horse. You think people would be a problem for them to eat?
Jacolepterus, giant sea scorpion. Lived in brackish or fresh water, apex predator, stereoscopic eyes. Roughly 8 feet long. Pretty sure I already have nightmares about this animal.
Irish elk. If you've ever seen a normal elk, you know how mean they are. Now imagine them at 12 feet tall.
The smallpox virus. It has killed far beyond 1 billion people and plagued us for thousands of years. Given that the vaccine wouldn't be available, it would definitely quickly decrease the population drastically.
Haast's eagle. Its prey was moa, which was like a 10 feet tall ostrich. There are old Maori legends of them taking people.
Megadolon gigantic shark, almost as long as a blue whale.
None. They would be extinct again in very short order.
Mosasaurus. You think orcas and sharks are bad, both of whom very rarely mess with humans? The thing's basically a giant Komodo dragon with flippers that eats anything smaller than it, which is most sea creatures and humans. Imagine trying to sail with those monsters hanging around.
Big-ass birds of prey.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to subscribe to Upvote for the best quality content every day.